will have workbook. Okay, this course requires also workbook. I think I will also send it as a maybe a file in the Google Classroom. So this is the book that we will be taking the homeworks from. Okay, all of the homeworks will be in here. As you can see, there are multiple exercises, questions for practice. So you can basically practice some of the skills that we are talking about. Very often I will be just copying the parts of the book and putting them into the notes, and then I will be writing on them. So for now, for this course, we'll be working in from the very beginning with numbers. So we have different types of numbers. We start from ones. Okay, so numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. Okay, those are all ones. Are you familiar with those? Everybody knows that? Yeah, you're good? Okay, perfect. Okay, bigger than that. So if you have 10 ones, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 ones create a 10. Okay, is it clear? Okay, cool. Now, if you have 10 tens, okay, so 10 tens, you can think about 1 10 is like a stack of 10 Lego blocks, for example, or Minecraft blocks. Some students like to play Minecraft. When you think about it, you have 10 blocks, 10 stocks like that. 10 tens is 100. Is it clear? Yeah, all good. Okay. And now further, we can have multiples of tens, for example, right? So let's say we have 2 tens. 2 times 10, 2 tens is 20. We can go further. 3 tens is 30. 4 tens is 40. 5 tens is 50, etc., etc. Is it clear? Yeah, are you familiar with numbers? That's good. Okay. Then when we have 10 tens, okay, so 10 tens is 100. All good? Okay, and then again, we can have 100, 200, 300, etc. Up to 10 hundreds, okay, equals 1,000. Okay. Any questions here? Okay, so I'm assuming everybody is familiar with numbers from 0 to 1,000. Is that correct? Okay, cool. That's nice. So yeah, again, in this case, if we know it, we can just move on to something more advanced. So let's take a look. Let's take a look further. That's okay. Okay. Let's say some patterns. That's okay. Let's do some combinations of numbers. Something like that. Sometimes you will be asked in a homework question or on the test somewhere, oh, okay, what are the ones in the numbers? What are the tens in the numbers and hundreds in the numbers, or even thousands? So we basically have 3 different places. We have the ones place, okay, so is responsible for the ones, tens place, responsible for the tens, and hundreds place, responsible for the hundreds. All clear? Have you all seen it? Okay, so let's make a small kind of exercise here. I will give you a few calculations and you will calculate it. Okay, wait a sec, let me write it. Let's say complete this one. Let's call it A. Let's say B. Yeah, Jana, you have a question?
I don't know. They haven't learned them.
Okay, that's okay. So let's wait a sec. Let me put this on the note. So how we so let's but do you know like what is 100? Is it clear?
You know the hundreds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's good. Okay. So in this case, when we want to add numbers, we could go slowly. For example, let's say, okay, side note. If we would go with like 100 and we wanted to add one, okay, we could say it's 101. So our 0 at the end changes into 1. Is it clear? Similarly, if we wanted, let's say 100 plus 5, then the 0 at the end will change into, how do you think, Jenna? Into what?
Into a 5.
Into 5, exactly. Now, and it goes the same with like with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, everything up to 9. Let's say now I go further. So I have 10, I have 100 plus 10. Now I can't put a 10 in here, right? That's not good. That doesn't work. It's not the right number. So what we do instead, we'll change the last two numbers into 10. Okay. It will work the same for any numbers that are 2 digits. Okay, so 2 digits will change the last 2 digits. So in this case, let's say we have 100 plus, let's say 15. Then we will have the last 2 digits instead of 0, 0, we will have 1 and 1, 5. All clear? Okay, and it works the same for bigger numbers. So the same, let's say 300 plus 28. Well, we'll just change the last 2 digits into 28. All clear? Yeah, okay, cool. So guys, let's take a look at this question. Trying doing this. Let's say we'll give it like, I don't know, 3 minutes or so. 3 minutes, let's say. Okay, are you done? Okay, so let's say, Ellie, give it a try with the first one. What did you get?
178.
Written as this? Okay, perfect. That's nice. Thank you. Okay, let's say, Evan, go ahead. Yeah.
323.
That's correct. And Jana?
791.
91. Yeah, that's correct. So very well. Remember, even though we just write the first kind of digits of like 300, we still read it as 328. Okay, so we read all of the elements that were added. Yeah, very good. Okay, guys, that was good. That was nice. Let's move on. Now, similar question. You might also get a question like that. So you will get a number that is ready. And now you have to go back. So you have to tell me, okay, how many hundreds do I have? Let me make an example. So in this case, I have 640, right? So I have 6 hundreds, right? Then I have, so let's say 6. Let's change the color. Then I have 4 tens because it's on the 4 place, and then 0 ones. Okay, you might want to recall this note in here. Oh, right here. Is it all clear? Similar in here, I would have 900. Let me change the color. 900 because of this. 2 tens. And then 9 zeros. I mean 9 ones. All clear? Okay, so similar question. Let's say I have number like this. And the task for you is, what is the number of hundreds, tens, and ones. Wait a sec. Let's put it here. So similar as to this example. Again, let's say we will give it like 2 minutes. Okay, let's go. Let's start. Let's say Evan. Yeah, 700s. Okay.
5 tens, 6 ones.
That's correct. Okay, Jana, go ahead.
4 hundreds, 2 tens, 3 ones.
Very good. Okay, and Ellie.
8 hundreds, 9 tens, and 4 ones.
Very good. Okay, let's put it on the note. Very good. Also, hi, Selena. Is that correct? Is that how I pronounce your name? Selena?
Selena.
Okay, so Selena, because you're a little bit late, let me introduce you to some of the rules. If you have some questions, let me know. You can ask them anytime. You can put them into the chat, however you like. Also, we will be working mostly here. Make sure you have the Google Classroom. Okay, let me put it for the class code chat in the class code into the chat again for you. Make sure you have it and make sure you have the textbook. Okay. I will also be putting them on the Google Classroom for this class. So yeah, just make sure you access the Google Classroom. Okay, guys, let's continue. So let's move on to comparing. Let's see. Ali, you might want to mute yourself. If you're not talking, mute yourself, Ali. Okay, so now whenever we have two numbers that we want to compare, we always want to start, let's say we have, in this case, 70, oh, let me change the color, let's say 76, and we have 58, okay? We always take a look at the number that is higher in kind of order. So first we would check hundreds. Well, we don't have hundreds in either of these, so it doesn't help. Then we go and check tens, and whichever is higher, then the entire number is higher. Yeah, so in this case, okay, 7 tens. And here only 5 tens. So 7 is bigger than 5. So the entire number is bigger. Okay, now I want to introduce you to a symbol like this. Have you ever seen it? Do you know this symbol? Yeah, okay, all of you know that. Perfect. Okay, that's good. So it's greater than, just to review, greater than 58. Okay, that's the thing. Now, what if two numbers are the same? So let's say another example. Let's say I have 58 and 57. Well, these are the same. I'll put it like this, the same. So you check the next. You check the next place. So in this case, ones. You have 8 ones, and here only 7 ones. Well, 8 is bigger than 7, So you can say that 58 is bigger than 57. Do you know this symbol, this one? Okay, let's write it down. Again, I will be using it quite a lot. It's useful. This symbol means so, or you can think about it as therefore. Oh, wait a sec. Okay, so it means, you can also translate it. It means okay, I'll be using this symbol if one kind of our idea leads to another. So because 8 is as 8 is greater than 7, therefore, so it means that 58 is greater than 57. Okay, it's just way easier and faster for me to write this symbol instead of saying, oh, therefore, or because. It's just way faster. So yeah, that's what it means. I put it in like a box so you can see it clearly. We use a lot of symbols in math to make our writing faster, easier. All clear? Okay, cool. So how about some practice for you? Okay, so let's say I want to. Oh, also one more thing. Let's say you have another symbol. So let's say you have like another example, like 12 and 13. You can say that 12 is less than. You know the symbol? Less than. Okay. And if you have two numbers that are the same, let's say 7 and 7, you can say they're equal. Just two lines. Do you know this one as well? Okay, perfect. So let's practice. Let's say we get a. So the task is compare, okay? Compare the numbers. Hey, let's say we have like 3 minutes for that. Should be good. Selena, you have a question?
Why are there two C's?
Oh, sorry, typo. My bad. That's a typo. Here we go. Okay, let's get started. Let's say, Jenna, go ahead. Joanna, sorry, Joanna.
53 is bigger than 37.
Very good. The proper name for that is greater than, not necessarily bigger, but that's okay. It's not a big mistake. Greater than or less than, okay? Greater than or less than. That's a small detail, but yet I want you to know that. Okay, that's the thing. Did somebody put this line in here? What is this line? Could somebody remove the line? Whoever put that? I know somebody put this line in here. Selena?
101 versus 110.
Mhm.
The answer is
Okay, yeah, sure. You can put it as this as well. That's perfect. Okay, let's go. Let's say Ellie, go ahead.
75 is greater than 57.
That's correct. Okay. Evan?
123 is less than 132.
Yeah, very good. Okay, perfect. Perfect, everybody. Also, could I don't know who put this line. Could you remove that? Because I don't think I can do that, or can I? Maybe. I could stop share for a sec and share again. Now it works. Okay, let's move on to the next term. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. Okay, let's do a little bit of addition like that. So we can add not only straightforward like that, but we can also add numbers that are already complex. For example, let's say we are adding numbers 132 and we are adding 1. Okay, so ones should be added to other ones. Okay, we never mixed ones with tens or tens with hundreds, etc. Ones add up to ones. So in this case, let's go 130. You can say these together, they add up together, creating 3. So 133. Is it clear? Now we can say also another example, 132 plus 10. Tens add up to tens. So I'll add it in here. Now, I will not say, okay, 3 and 10, so it's 13. No, 3 is a shortcut in here for 30, and 30 plus 10 is 40. So I will have 140, so 4, and 2 remains the same. Let me put this 4 in color for you. Oh, what did I say? 4. Okay. So remember, tens add to tens. And the same with hundreds. Let's say I have the same number, 132 plus 100. So now I'll have 232. Okay. So if I have only tens are affected. Only ones are affected. Hundreds are affected. Sometimes we'll have the case that, for example, we'll have ones, but they will add up to more than 10. Then what? Let's actually take a look at this example. So for example, let's say I have 132, but now I have plus 9. Okay. So now I would say, okay, I see like 9 and 2, they add up, but 2 plus 9 equals 11. So what do I do? Oh, 11. So I have to add 1 is for tens and, and 1 is remaining. So now you can think about it, how you can break it down. You can say it's the same as what is 132. It's the same as 130 plus 2. Is it clear? Yeah, that's from this to this. And then plus 9, because 9 remains. So now 130, and this is 11. So plus 11. And now I add, here is the part, tens go to tens and ones. Let me change the color. Ones go to ones. So I end up with 100, 40, and 1. But this is a bit more advanced. We'll do it later on, so don't worry if you don't get it at the first time. More or less, is it clear, everybody? Yeah, we're good. Don't worry, this is a bit more complex because we have this changing in here. But remember that basically ones add up to ones, tens to tens, hundreds to hundreds, thousands to thousands. That's the most important thing. Any questions? No? Okay. Let's take a look further. Okay, let's do some exercise in that. So let's say add the numbers. Let's say I have okay, are you done? No? Selena, are you done?
Almost.
Almost. Okay, let's give it like 30 more seconds or so, and we'll check it.
Done.
Okay.
Restroom.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Okay, guys, also like a small announcement. If you need to go to the washroom, you don't need to ask about it, okay? If you want, you can put it into the chat, so I know that you didn't just magically disappear, but you don't have to, like interrupt the lesson. Just go. That's okay. I will always say yes anyway, so don't worry about it. Just go. Yeah, Selena, go ahead. You have a question? Oh no, you want to answer the question. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
All the questions or just one?
Just one? What do you mean, just one?
Like A, B, C, and D, or just like A?
No, just A. Usually I give one example for every student, so everybody can, give it a try.
The answer is 460.
66. Okay, yeah, very good. Okay, the next one. Evan, you want to give it a try?
374.
Very good. Okay, Ellie.
526.
Okay, Jana.
784.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you, guys. That was all good. Okay, so now let's do a little bit of subtraction because we can do the same with subtracting. So let's say another example. Let's say we have something like, I don't know, 256, for example. I can subtract. Let's say I'm subtracting first 2. So ones are subtracted from ones. So in this case, I will have 250. That's the same, but now instead of 6, 6 minus 2 is 4. So 254. Okay. If I have, let's say the case that I have 256 minus, let's say, 10. The same thing. I have tens subtracted from tens. So in this case, I have 200 and then 6 at the end, but here in the middle, I will have 50 minus 10 is 40, so 4. And let's say we have hundreds minus, let's say 100. We'll say 100 subtract from 100. So it will be 156. Okay. Now you might ask, oh, okay, but what if I had 256 minus 200? the same thing. However, we don't say 056. No, we don't write it. We would just say 56. Okay? That's just, you might get a case like that. And the questions? All good? Okay. So again, a little bit of an exercise in that. Let's say we have okay, let's start from the first one. And the volunteer, Selena, yeah, go ahead.
416.
Yeah, very good. Okay, thank you. Let's go with the second one. Ellie, yeah, go ahead.
438.
Very good. Okay. The next one. Joanna, do you want to give it a try?
We are still working on the last one.
Okay, read C then. Read C then. Okay, that's okay. Oh, okay. Evan then.
63.
Yeah, that was a bit tricky here because 400 minus 400, 0. So yes, 63. Okay. Joanna, you might want to give it a try of the last one.
Hundreds, no chance, right? No change. So
9.
hundreds, 100.
9 and 100.
No, 900. 这是多少？
16. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah. So remember, Joanna, whenever you have, for example, here I have, oh, okay, it's 70, right? So seven tenths, you can say. So tenths are always subtracted from other tenths. The rest remains the same. So if there are no hundreds, I don't touch hundreds. Just 9 as it was. If there are no ones, I don't touch ones. So the only thing changes that the only digit changes as we add it or subtract it. So tens are added or subtracted, then tens change. Okay. Any questions or we are good? Good. Okay. Let's move on then. Okay. Let's try some patterns maybe. Okay, patterns. Sometimes you'll be given a question with a pattern. Okay, pattern is some repeating action. Okay, that is repeated every step. Okay, so we do something and then we repeat it. We do the same over and over. That's called a pattern. So in this case, they say, okay, what's the next number? What's the next number in here? We don't know. So how to figure it out? It's useful whenever we want to find the pattern, solve the pattern. It's good to take a look at what is given. So in this case, I see, I have 99 and then 97. What is the difference? What has changed? Oh, I see that I subtracted 2, right? 2 is the difference. I subtracted 2. Is it clear? Yeah. So, oh, maybe that's the pattern, right? If you are able, always check more steps, because sometimes both patterns might work, right? So you have to be careful. That's why it's always good to check more steps. Oh, so let's see. Oh, I went from 97 to 95, also minus 2. And then from 95 to 93, so also minus 2. etc., etc., right? So probably I also have to subtract 2. So my question is, what is 91 minus 2? I might say, okay, I have 1 and I have 1 and I have negative minus 2. So now 1 minus 2, what is it, less than 0? Well, it would be negative 1, but there's a way to kind of solve it, to break it down. Okay, so whenever we see it, I like to break it down into lower tens. So we have a 91, let's say it's 80 plus 11. Okay, 91 is 80 plus 11. Is it clear? Or we can break it even further. 91 is 80 plus 10 plus 1. Make sense? And minus 2 is the same. Let's maybe make it in colors. It's like minus 1 and then again minus 1, right? That's together, it's minus 2. Make sense? If I subtract twice the negative, twice 1, I get negative 2. So what can I say? Oh, okay. I see that in this case, 80, let's say it remains the same, 80 plus 10 remains the same, but I have ones. Ones cancel out, right? I can say, oh, here, they'll make 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. But then I still have this 1, negative 1. Is it clear? All right, so I can go further. Oh, okay, so I have 80 plus 10 minus 1. 10 minus 1 is easy. It's 9, right? Just 1 less. So I say, oh, okay, it's 80 plus 9 equals 89, right? This is kind of step-by-step solution. If you're proficient with that, if you've done it before, you can do it right away, right? It's okay. You can always go faster. That's not a problem. Just let me know. Oh, okay, I'm going to do that. Is it all clear? Okay, so let's take a look at some other patterns. Let's see. Okay, this pattern, that's one. This one is easy. Let's say these 3. Okay, so guys, here are a few patterns. Let's say, wait a second, let me move this one to the bottom. So let's make it D. Okay, 4 patterns for you to figure out. How to do that? Try to see what is the difference between numbers. Maybe I'm adding something to every next step. Maybe I'm subtracting. See, try to find it, okay? And then check if it works. Let's say you have like 2-3 minutes. We're running out of time, so let's say like 3 minutes. Ali, you have a question?
Do I do all of it?
Yeah, try to do all of this. Like I give you like 3 minutes for all of them, but I will ask you only one. You know, I always want students to do like all of the examples, but then everybody gets to read one.
Could you make it a little bit bigger?
Yeah, sure. Wait a sec. Let me maybe move it so you see both the question and the example. Is it big enough?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Selena?
495.
What was the pattern? What did you have to do to make the pattern, to find the pattern, to find this step?
So It's all counting by 5 because
Mm.
475 and 480 are just 5 apart.
That's okay. Yeah, just like tell me what's the pattern. +5. Yeah, that's correct. And here also +5. So 495. Okay, thank you. For the next one, I don't know, Evan, give it a try.
875
What was the pattern?
and minus 10.
-10. That's correct. Okay, the next one, Ellie. I can't hear you, Ellie.
720.
Okay, yeah, that's correct. And what was the pattern?
Counting by hundreds.
Yeah, subtracting specifically, right? Subtracting 100. That's correct. Okay, as in the previous one, so it's just -100. So in this case, that would be 486. Okay, we are on your time. So that's it. I will post this note. Okay, I will save it and post it on the Google Classroom. So right here, make sure you access it. Okay, there is everything going on. The note, the homework. For homework, what's for homework? I will let you know the pages. Okay, I will send you the workbook on the Google Classroom. So make sure you have the code. Okay, it's right here. Make sure you have it. You access the Google Classroom. It's very important. And yeah, I'll post the homework there. Any questions? No? All good? Okay, so it was very nice to meet you guys and see you next week. Okay? Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.